Welcome to our channel. In this video, let us discuss about the solving of few more examples that were covered under the concept of metal carbonyls. This was a question given. Which of the following does not obey EAN rule? Okay. Come again. Which of the following does not obey EAN rule? Here four options were given. Osmium carbonyl and iron Ina carbonyl, manganese carbonyl and tungsten carbonyl. So out of these four, which of the following does not obey EAN rule? So let us solve this question. So first we take osmium carbonyl. So before that we have to know the formula for formula to calculate EAN of an atom. So what is EAN? EAN is the effective atomic number. EAN is the effective atomic number of the particular metal of that carbonyl. So EAN for a monomeric carbonyl is given by M plus 2Y, which is equal to G. So this is a formula for monomeric carbonyls. This is a formula which is used to calculate EAN for monomeric carbonyls. That is given as M plus 2Y equal to G, okay, where M is called atomic number of metal atom. M is the atomic number of metal atom. Y is the number of carbonyl groups present in that carbonyl. Okay, so M is atomic number of metal atom. Y is the number of carbonyl groups present. So atomic number for osmium is 76. Atomic number of osmium is 76. If we substitute these values in this formula, we get 76 plus 2 into number of carbonyls. So 2 into Y is number of carbonyls, which are 5 in number. So 76 plus 2 into 5, that is 76 plus 10 equal to 86, which is equal to G. Here G is called the atomic number of higher inert gas. Okay, G is called the atomic number of next higher inert gas, which is here 86. This is atomic number for radon. Okay, so as the calculated EAN number is equal to the atomic number of the next higher inert gas, this osmium carbonyl satisfies EAN rule or obeys EAN rule. Okay, so the question is which does not obey EAN rule. So let us go to the next option. The second option is iron Ina carbonyl, that is Fe2CO9. So here we see two metal atoms. That means it is a polynuclear carbonyl. It is a polynuclear carbonyl. So to calculate EAN for polynuclear carbonyls, it is different from monomeric carbonyls. So for polynuclear carbonyls, to calculate EAN, it is given as EAN is equal to XM plus 2Y by X plus X minus 1. Okay, XM plus 2Y by X plus X minus 1, which equal to G, where X is the number of metal atoms, M is the atomic number of metal atom, Y is number of carbonyl groups present. Okay, so X is the number of metal atoms, M is the atomic number of metal atom, Y is the number of carbonyl groups. So let us see. Iron atomic number is 26, which is equal to M, and X number of metal atoms, here we have 2, and Y is the number of carbonyls, which is equal to 9. So if we substitute all these values in the given formula, we get 2 into 26 atomic number of iron and the number of metal atoms 2 plus 2 into 9, that is number of carbonyl groups, by 2 plus 2 minus 1. It gives 70 by 2 plus 1, and it is 36, which is equal to G, that is krypton. So this 36 is the atomic number of krypton. So here iron Ina carbonyl also obeys EAN rule. So we have to go for the next option. So this is the third option, manganese carbonyl. So here manganese atoms, only one manganese atom is present. So it is monomeric carbonyl. Again the formula is M plus 2Y equal to G. So atomic number of manganese is 25 and number of carbonyls Y is equal to 5. So substituting these values in the above formula, we get it is the value as 35. So which is not equal to any of the atomic number of the next inert gas. So this manganese carbonyl does not obey EAN rule. So this is the right option, right answer. Anyway, we go for the next option. The last option is tungsten carbonyl. It is a monomeric carbonyl. So we can calculate EAN by using M plus 2Y equal to G. Atomic number of tungsten is 74. So M is 74 plus 2 into carbonyl 6 equal to G, and the value is 86. So EAN is calculated as 86, which is equal to the atomic number of the next higher inert gas, that is radon. So this tungsten carbonyl also obeys EAN rule. So out of the 4 options, the C1 is correct, that is manganese carbonyl does not obey EAN rule. Okay. So the next question comes like this: how many types of carbonyl groups are present in dicobalt octacarbonyl? So once again, how many types of carbonyl groups are present in dicobalt octacarbonyl? And the options were given as A is 1, B 2, C 3 and D is 4. Okay. So this can be explained from the structure of dicobalt octacarbonyl. We know that dicobalt octacarbonyl, it exists in 2 isomeric forms. This dicobalt octacarbonyl exists in 2 isomeric forms, that is Bridget form and non-Bridget form. So from this we can easily conclude that we can get 2 types of carbonyls, that means Bridget carbonyls and terminal carbonyls or non-Bridget carbonyl groups. So the answer would be B, that is 2. So the second option is the right answer. So next question is like this: how many types of carbonyl groups are present in nickel tetracarbonyl? So once again, how many types of carbonyl groups are present in nickel tetracarbonyl? And the options were given as follows: A is 1, B 2, C 3 and D 4. Let us solve this. And before going to solve this from the concept, one logical answer is that for monomeric carbonyls, most of the monomeric carbonyls, they do contain only one type of carbonyl groups. So the option A is the right answer. Okay. So only if we have more than one metal atom in that metal carbonyl, there will be 2 types of carbonyls can be seen, that is Bridget carbonyls that are connecting 2 metal atoms or the metal atoms present, and the terminal carbonyl groups. Okay, so here we have only one metal atom in nickel tetracarbonyl, that is it comes under monomeric carbonyl. So it contains only one type of carbonyl groups, that is all the carbonyls present here are terminal carbonyl groups. So from the concept we can solve like this: nickel, its atomic number is 28 and the electronic configuration is written as organ 3d8 4s2. So the ground state configuration of nickel is like this: so 3d8 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, 4s2 and 4p is vacant. In the excited state, that is in the presence of ligands, one of the electron from 4s orbital rearranges itself in the 4p orbital. So one electron from 4s orbital goes to 4p orbital. Now the 2 vacant 4p orbitals and one 4p orbital having single electron and this 4s orbital having single electron, so 1s orbital and these 3p orbitals intermix, merge together, giving rise to sp3 hybridization. So we get 4 sp3 hybrid orbitals. Okay, now the 4 carbonyl groups come to share their electron pairs with the vacant orbitals like this. The 2 carbonyls, they donate electron pair to these vacant orbitals, giving rise to dative bond, and the other sp3 hybrid orbital from 4p and here this sp3 hybrid orbital, they share electron pair with carbonyl group and gets paired up, and the non-bonding orbitals from 3d8 having single electrons, these two form pi bonds with the unpaired electron of these two carbonyl groups. Okay, so here only we can see the terminal carbonyl groups, no bridged carbonyl groups are present. So in nickel tetracarbonyl we have only one type of carbonyl group present, that is A option is the right answer. So the question is like this: how many bridged ligands and metal-metal bonds are present in iron Ina carbonyl? So once again, how many bridged ligands and metal-metal bonds are present in iron Ina carbonyl? So the options given were like this: A 1 1, B is 2 1, C 3 1, 4 is 4 1. Okay. So before going to solve this example, we should know what is iron Ina carbonyl. So iron Ina carbonyl is Fe2CO9. So iron Ina carbonyl is Fe2CO9. Okay. So iron atomic number is 26 and the configuration is organ 3d6 4s2. This is the ground state electronic configuration for iron, that is 3d6 4s2 4p0. So 4s2 4p0. In the excited state, in the presence of ligands, rearrangement of electrons takes place, and one electron from 4s orbital, it is rearranged in 3d orbital. So iron gets 2 paired electrons and 3 unpaired electrons, and 4s is having 1 unpaired electron, 4p is vacant. So that is the same with 2 iron atoms. Now we have 9 carbonyl groups. So out of the 9 carbonyl groups, 3 carbonyl groups to first iron atom and 3 carbonyls to second iron atom, they donate their electron pair to the vacant orbitals. These orbitals, that means 2 3d orbitals, 1 4s orbital, 3 4p orbitals, they merge together, giving rise to D2sp3 hybridization. So we have 6 D2sp3 hybrid orbitals, that is 2 we have 6 D2sp3 hybrid orbitals, that is 2 from 3d, 1 from 4s and 3 from 4p orbitals. Okay, and so now out of the 9 carbonyl groups, 3 to the first iron atom, 3 to the second iron atom goes to the 4p, D2sp3 hybrid orbitals. Vacant D2sp3 hybrid orbitals donate electron pairs, forms a dative bond, and we are left with 3 D2sp3 hybrid orbitals, that is 2 from 3d and 1 from 4s with single electrons. Okay, so now the 3 bridged ligands, they share their electron pairs with both the iron atoms. That means they give the electrons to these iron electrons in the iron 1 atom, and also with the single electrons present in the iron 2 atoms. So these 3 are known as they connect these 2 iron atoms, they are called as bridged carbonyl groups. Bridged carbonyl groups. So it is concluded that in iron Ina carbonyl we have 3 bridged ligands or 3 bridged carbonyl groups. Okay, and in the non-hybridized orbital of 3d we have 1 electron left in the first atom and 1 electron left in the second atom. These 2 unpaired electrons gets paired up and forms a metal-metal bond between first iron atom and second iron atom. So from this it is known that in iron Ina carbonyl we have 1 metal-metal bond is present. So we have 3 bridged carbonyls and 1 metal-metal bond is present in iron Ina carbonyl. So this 3 and 1 is present in third option, that is C is the right answer. Okay, thank you for watching, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe my channel. If you want to know more about EA Enroll, the video link is provided in the description.